Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Jessie and this is the Knit Up and Dye podcast, episode 25, Give Me Strength. It has been a challenging knit week. I did get a lot done though, mostly, and I got a lot that I did and did. It was redo day yesterday. So I'm going to kick right off with what I did get done. My intention knitting knit-along socks are a pair. I'm so happy with them. I have been knitting them during my lunch breaks at work and really taking time to step out of my day and focus just on my knitting, just on my mental health, and bringing peace and harmony into my lunch break and putting all that energy into my knitting. Just really thinking about what brings me peace, knitting. What is harmony to me, music that I enjoy, the general things that make me really happy and just at peace and comfortable in my life, and really absorbing the colors and enjoying the spring colors of the pink and the gray. This is the Harmony colorway. I do still have kits available. If you're coming into the Intention Knitting Knit Along late, there are still kits in my shop and you're welcome to hop in and grab one. The threads are going to stay open. I'm still there for you, and if you just want more information about it, certainly contact me. But the whole idea of the intention knitting was to really dig into the process and be thinking about goals or things that are meaningful to you, memories, while you're doing your knitting, instead of just churning through a project, watching TV, listening to podcasts, whatever. That's not a bad thing. I certainly encourage you to knit through podcasts. I do it all the time, but this was special. This was set aside time and really focus on me. And I did, and I loved it. So these are my socks, yay! And the weather was phenomenal for it, absolutely phenomenal. But part of my Give Me Strength is that we had this beautiful, beautiful sunny mid-70s afternoons where I was going out on my lunch break and sitting in the sun and knitting. If you're following me on Instagram, you've seen all kinds of progress pictures of me out in the sun knitting. But then a cold snap came through. That's not a bad thing. Cold snaps always make me want to knit, and I have been actively avoiding my sweater. So it kind of kicked me over the edge and got me going again on my sweater. Sort of. So there's not been a lot of progress there. Let me pull this out. You've seen it. If you watch my podcast, you've seen my Tequila sunrise sweater. And the body is all done. And I'm really excited about it. I love the colors. I want to wear it. Yes, the weather's getting warmer. Yes, I live in the desert. But the desert means that the days are really hot and the nights are cool. So there's still a lot of opportunity for me to wear sweaters. I purchased needles for knitting in the round on the sleeves. And the needles have kind of a kink, a bend in them. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going to try and hold it up. They have an angle in them. And had I known that when I bought them, I probably wouldn't have bought them. Just I used a set of interchangeable needles before that had this kink in them and I didn't like them. But I'm going to give it a try. So I'm trying to pick up stitches in the armhole so that I can knit the sleeve in the round headed down. And I did my armhole a little bit deeper than was appropriate per the instructions for the size of the body, which is fine. We adjust our sweaters. So the instructions fortunately did have a pickup count for the length that I had gone down. It was simply a larger size than what I had worked. So no big deal. I have a number. I know what the number is that I should be picking up around the armhole. Well, we've all been here, haven't we? I picked up, and the first time I picked up, I knew that if I started at the bottom and I worked up the front to the middle top, that would be half of the number. And the magic half number should have been 39. Easy enough. got up to the shoulder, and I had something like 56. And I just went, whoops, nope, that's wrong. And I pulled the needle out and I pulled the yarn out and laughed about it and started again. And the second time I started in, I was picking up and I was being mindful so that every 2 rows I picked up 1 in each row, and then I picked up an interim stitch so that I was getting basically 3 stitches for every 2 rows. It's a theory, it's supposed to work. I got about 15 stitches picked up, and I looked at where I was picking them up and how it was going to look when I pull it away from the body and see what the join was going to look like. And it was slop. It was a mess. And I wasn't happy with that. So 15 stitches, no big deal. And I laughed at myself, ha ha ha, 3rd time's the charm. And I pulled it out again. I went at it again. This time I said, I'm not going to worry about getting exactly half by the shoulder. I'm just going to pick them up. I'm just going to use this rhythm. 2 rows, an interim, 2 rows, an interim. And I picked up the stitches all the way around, and it looks good. It's in the right place when I pull it away to look at the join. It all looks really nice. I'm happy with it. It's good enough for my work. Is it? Okay, there's some that I'm not thrilled with. It could be cleaner, which is fine because I have to do it again. The front half looks really good. The back side, I think I'm in between some stitches in a couple places, so I want to go at it again. But this time when I picked up, my total count is still short. Grr. So I'm going to do it again. But there's a big section here that I really like how it landed. So I'm not going to just pull the needle out and start from scratch. Instead, I'm going to come in again with a different line, or I'm just going to cut this line, and I'm going to pick up very much in the same spots. I'm going to use the pickup that I already have as a guide, and then I'm going to add stitches as I go. I am going to count this again. I'm going to try and figure out how many I need to add to the front, how many I need to add to the back, and make it as even as possible. But this is fatiguing. This has not been fun. Once it's picked up, it's going to be great, and I'm just going to pew down through that sleeve. No problems. But it's getting to that point that's just wearing me out right now. So between crazy weather, it's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold, between trying desperately to pick up stitches and failing repeatedly, just give me strength. I need knitting mojo. I need some knitting mojo. Oh, and I've been working on another project too. Let me run and get it real quick. I'll be right back. Two other projects. Let me set my sweater aside. So, I forgot that I was doing all this. I've been working on them. I don't know how I forgot. I have been making progress on my Phoenix Tears sock. I only have maybe 2 repeats of the stitch pattern left. It's cruising right along now that I've tinked back and I got my gusset corrected, I got my heel corrected, and now I'm just cruising through it, and I can't wait. These are going to be beautiful. The first one's all done, which is how I knew I had a problem, because when I lined it up to see how the patterns were lining up against the heel, I realized that I'd started my heel on my second sock about 1.5 inches too early. That would have been uncomfortable and looked a little strange. But now I'm cruising right along, and like I said, I really only have maybe 2 reps of the pattern left, and this will be done. I am super excited about these. I have literally been working on these for 2 years now. When it went wrong and I realized I was going to have to pull back, they went into the pile of shame and they camped there for quite a while. And cleaning out earlier this winter and pulling out all the projects that were hanging got me started on this one again. So these are exciting, and they'll be all fresh and new and clean in my drawer for fall and ready to go. we'll tuck that aside. But the project that I was thinking of when I ran away from y'all was in conjunction with the new needles I got for the sleeve of the sweater. I had purchased one of the 9-inch circulars for doing socks and giving that a try. And again, if you've been watching my Instagram, you've seen pictures of this. I am using the 9-inch circular, which does not have bent tips. There it is right there. To knit a little ankle sock, because I like these little clown socks. And it's screaming along. I'm really happy with it. This particular yarn is Mermaid Sock by Supernatural Yarns. I always want to call it Supernatural Wools. I don't know why. This colorway is Dervish and Bangs. The yarn is 400 yards over 100 grams. It's a 2-ply superwash merino, and I love it. I love it. I love it. It's super sturdy and holds up just beautifully for socks. And her colors, Shannon's colors, are the bomb. They're so beautiful. They're just fun. I love this. So here's my little sock and here's my little circular needle. It's taken some adjustment. I am really a double point needle girl. I always have been. I like them. And I've tried a lot of different double points. The average size I like better than the long. The long are just cumbersome. I'm sure they're great in bigger projects, not on socks. And the little mini ones, I can't use those. I keep pricking myself in the hand with them. But this is, once I started to adapt to it, and I had to change how I held my working needle a little bit because I was getting some chafe on my finger from, I think, holding too tight in like a nervous panic that this wasn't working. I changed how I held it a little bit, nothing serious, but I found that this really cranks right around simply because I don't lose time moving from one needle to the next. And because it's so short, there's very little stitch shifting. You don't have to move stitches along the needle. So it really goes very fast. I had no problem using the circular needle to do my heel flap, to pick up and do my gusset. It all went really, really well. I turned the whole thing, the whole heel, everything has been done on the circular needle. The one thing that threw me was when I got to the gusset, I realized I needed stitch markers. And I'm so used to working on double points and knowing which section of the sock is on each needle that I never use stitch markers because the needle marks my position for me. So I had to go and pull out some stitch markers to do it, but big deal, who cares? That was easy enough. And I do have a stitch marker on here just working for my round marker, which normally I don't have to do that either. It's usually marked again by the position on the needle. But overall, I will say I like them. Do I love them? I'm getting there. It could happen. It could happen. I'm still pretty attached to my double points, just because that's what I've used for so long. That's been my addiction. That's been my comfort zone. This has really pulled me out of my comfort zone, but not so much as like Magic Loop, which that was a spaghetti nightmare. That just went horrible. Or even doing the two circular where you're doing half on each, that just got messy too. I'm not sure why that didn't appeal to me. It's very much like using the double pointed needles, except you only have to use 2 of them and you're still working. I don't know, it just didn't click with me. This is better. I'm liking this. I'm going to finish this sock this way. I'm going to finish this pair this way and see how much more it grows on me. Definitely I have a better understanding of how some of these people are pumping out pairs of socks so fast. I know people that are doing a pair a week, 2 pairs a week, and I'm just like, do you work? Do you sleep? When do you have time to eat? How do you get socks done that fast? And they do. They work, they sleep, they eat, and they knit on circs. And I think that's a big part of it, is it really does go so much faster. So certainly if you're thinking about giving the 9-inch circulars a try, step in there, give it a go. I recommend them. I think this could be this could be a happy marriage. This could be a happy marriage. Will I use this exclusively? Will I shift over completely? No. I do like having, for lacy socks and such, the definition that this is the top of the foot needle and I know exactly what stitches I'm working on that. And more detailed socks, and that may simply be because that's my familiarity, that's my comfort zone still. This got just a little bit confusing, and I'm talking vanilla stockinette in the round sock. It did get a little confusing for me, and I did get a little lost as to where I was a couple times. But certainly that may go away. That may go away. So worst case scenario, yeah, give them to a friend. There's always a knitter out there who does appreciate these things. So there, gave it a try. I've learned something new, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Jury's still out on the bent needles. We'll get there once I try to pick up that sleeve again. Give me strength. That just, it's making me crazy, and I'm trying so hard not to just put it in the pile of shame. I really, really want to get this sweater done because I know there's going to be some nice, cool evenings where I'm going to want to hang out on the back patio by the fire pit and have my sweater on and enjoy it. And certainly next fall I'm going to love it. But I don't want to wait until next fall and pull it out of the pile of shame and go, what did I put this off for? So I need to dig in and do that. I need to dig in and do that. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And projects going forward, the sweater, the Phoenix Tier socks, my funny little orange and green clown socks are going to get done. Yes, I call ankle socks clown socks because I have really big feet and they're usually really brightly colored socks and they look like socks a clown would wear when they're ankle socks on my big feet. Anyway, still going on, we have our one-liners giveaway. Please hop on over to the Ravelry thread. Give me your favorite one-liner from a movie or a TV show or series. And also just tell me what your dream colorway is. You never know, I might make it for you. We're going to have a drawing. It's going to be next weekend. Tell everybody about it. The more people that enter, the more stuff I put in the prize. Looks at this point like we're going to have a tote bag. We're going to have a shawl pin. We're going to have some little notions bags. Looks like we're going to have a tapestry needle in there and some magnetic bookmarks. It is just kind of a plethora of wonderful little things. Every time I say I'm having a giveaway, people give me things to put in. And it's really exciting. It's fun. I have these little drawstring notion bags. I'm peeking. I'm looking at things. And certainly there's going to be yarn in there as well. We love yarn. Let me grab it real quick so I can give you some of the details so you can see some of what it's going to be. Oh goodness, you would think I'd be more prepared and have tables closer. So we have this lovely shawl pin that is going to be in your prize pack. Beautiful silver scroll with a stick. Prize pack has these cute, clever magnetic bookmarks, these cute foxes. I have, oops, these adorable little bags. They're little drawstring bags. They're silk, pretty little print on it for your stitch markers and all your other little things, your tape measure and everything else. Cute little set that goes together. And then we have this tote bag. This is so pretty. I just love it. Simple, easy. Isn't that lovely? Just a cute tote bag for you to put your project in, put all your stuff in. Take it to knit night. All these things are piled in there. I haven't decided which yarn you're getting yet. I might let you choose. That could be fun. But there's also, I believe, a book coming to go in here as well with knitting patterns in it. Certainly tell all your friends, everybody enter. The more people that enter, the more stuff goes into your prize pack. Very exciting. Oh, And also, Easter's coming, so we're going to have a sale. The sale is going to go on until Easter weekend. And simply enter podcast 25 over in my Etsy shop. All of my yarns are going to be on sale. At the podcast 25 coupon code will get you 25% off your entire order, no matter what you order. Do keep in mind the lace weight yarns are already on discount. Another 25% off of that is making those a screaming deal, and they are a silk blend, 100 grams, really a great value. So swing on over. The podcast 25 also applies to sweater quantities. Now's a great chance to get a good deal on massive amounts of yarn for your next sweater. That is about all I have for you guys this week. It's short, it's sweet, but I've got to go wrestle my way around an armhole and see if I can't get my stitches picked up, because I would be so proud to show you a sleeve next week. That's it, that's all. Just a quick reach out to my friend Bex. Hi, I love you, and my heart goes out to you and your family. Losing Jerry is a lot for me. I'm sorry that you've lost your mother. And cancer sucks, and I'm gonna miss her test knitting my projects. I love you all. Thank you. And to everybody else, take care of the people you love and tell them that you love them. I'll see y'all next week, and we'll see what we're knitting by then. Bye.